This is a 49-minute video. Real time, having a sip of coffee. By the time I had a sip of cup of coffee, okay, your entire timeline is cut. The first thing you're going to do, Marcus, you're going to go right down here until we get this. We're going to get this updated. Our default decibel value is going to be minus 35. You see how it leaves in these little spaces right there, and even because and even like right here, there's dead air right there. By putting that at minus 35 and leaving these 0.04, 0.15. You just hit update silence detection settings. And now you can see all of the extras are done away with. Now, what you do notice is that, what is this, right? Like that's actual noise, right? And so what we have here is this ignore detections shorter than 0.75, which accounts for random mic strikes, clearing the throat, excited utterances, random ums and ahs in between when you're actually recording. So when you're previewing, there's like random uhs and stuff like that. So you can go through and edit any part of the timeline. There's 3 quick keys to know, okay? So just remember, minus 35, put this at 0.04. And so you can change the state of any playhead right here, okay? And so what I do is I hit the L key. There's basically 3 keys to know. L starts the playhead and speeds it up, so you can watch up to 4x. Watch this.
Micrometer square. So the SD allows that from RT to meter square. I use this meter here. On RT is exactly 12 meter square. And
so this is like, you heard the word and this is if you wanted to get this granular. It's super fast to do it. It'll take, instead of 48 seconds, it'll take you 10 minutes, right? Because you're watching it at 4 times the speed, just basically previewing for content. You hit the O key, it turns that clip off and skips to the next part. So if you had a bunch of, you were turning, you were talking, trying to get something ready, because this is all linear, it's a linear recording.
Like we've got one visitor here. Welcome you.
You can rapidly cut lots of content that way, okay? From in the middle and the side. The second thing I wanted to show you, when you're recording yourself, you can do, when the construct of what is said or a problem develops is important. Any silences any longer than 10 seconds, I want to speed up by 4x. So what happens is, it's just like a lecturer sitting there writing on the chalkboard. If you're writing your name, you just see him go.
So I've used that quite a lot, especially when I write. I typically do that because at least for me, if I just if an equation just pops up on the whiteboard or whatever, it looks kind of strange and you tend to fall off a little bit. But even if it just goes super fast, it's very kind of useful in that sense.
Yes. So this piece right here would just be a.
When you speed up, do you silence the audio as well?
Yes, you're not going to sound like a chipmunk or something like that. My entire editing process changed. Once you know if you're quiet and you are doing visuals, you learn that your video is going to be turning on and off essentially when you start and stop talking. Jump cuts have a way in information to reset attention. It provides enough of a cognitive jolt that you're resetting attention, but it's not annoying, right? You're not like watching strobe lights with epilepsy, you know?
Yeah.
That was a previous startup. Let's see. All you do from this point forward, okay, you just hit add to render queue. You can then go back. You can, I hit start rendering, and then I can go back and actually continue to add new files into the platform. So if you record 5 or 6 lectures, or, you know, that week's worth of lectures where you've got 4 different segments for async, but then you can go back in, you can add your additional lectures. As you can see, this is already in the queue. This is rendering. The 40-minute lecture is going to take about 5 minutes when it's recorded on Zoom to then go ahead and render out to a finished file. If you record on Zoom, make sure you're enable that third-party editor option, because it records in a constant bit rate instead of a variable bit rate.
But the export here, like if I wanted to do, because I typically like to add on a cursor effect so that my my cursor is kind of marked with like a yellow tracer so that you can see where the cursor is and stuff. I guess I could export it from here into like Camtasia or something like that to do editing afterwards, or is that not possible?
We do have export options into Camtasia or iMovie with export clips. We also have it for Final Cut Pro, and then we also have for Adobe Premiere and Adobe Premiere plugin. We also have a function inside TimeBolt to do screen recordings. Okay, so if you have some quick video, if you have to respond to a student on how to do a problem and want to post that as an example, you can capture right there on your screen, process it quickly through TimeBolt, and you can make really quick video that way.
Because that might be interesting for me to try with some of these shorter videos. Okay, that's very interesting.
And so this is done, right? So now this is done. You've got that 45-minute lecture, even with the time sped up, is now at 24:59. The size is 120, right? So we're keeping it right at about the exact same size as the original recorded Zoom. Sometimes they're a little bit more, sometimes they're a lot less, right? Depends on the resolution.
Looks very practical, especially for me who's doing a lot of these small cuts, but also like what I would do if I was recording my video and I don't like the way I'm formulating a sentence, if I'm not scripted or whatever, then I would just stop, wait a second, and then start the sentence again.
Exactly. Yeah, you can.
Then I would just kind of cut it out, and then it would be.
You can restart, and so there's the J. The L starts to play ahead. Remember? I think I just remember J-Lo, okay? Like, I don't know if you know, she's a pop star, J-L-O. That one didn't make the cutting room floor, but it made sense to me. The O key is what turns the clips on and off. And then the last, let's say you've got an or an in the middle of the sentence.
C'est pas exactement le même mandat.
Okay, so you've got an L right there. You hit Command B, either move it manually or hit with the arrow keys, and then you can turn that off, right? Yeah. So you can split at any point inside inside the noise. So that
mandat. En tout cas, il y a un truc qui est commun aux deux, c'est que
instantly smarter and a better, smarter, faster, better you.
No, that's a great tool. One of the ones I use the most in Camtasia.
I really appreciate your time.
I'll try this out for this week's video, and then continue trying to use it. I guess it's going to be probably much less tedious than what I'm using now. So do you guys have like a feedback option in the software, or is it better to do it online or send you a mail? Or
reviews? The reviews that you see are the ones that are uploaded. What we've been finding is we serve a lot of high-end YouTubers and gamers, and so while they helped us build this product, they don't tell anyone about it because it's such a major competitive time advantage, and that's kind of one of our that's one of the issues that I hope in education, where you have the you're willing to share what works. There's certain prestige that goes along with when you save somebody 2-3 hours of 4 or 5 hours of edit work a week and give them that life back. There's some camaraderie built there.
This would be a very good fit for education, kind of video cutting down, that type of thing. It's a very kind of minimal effort for maximum reward type thing.
Well, Markus, it's a real pleasure talking with you, and look forward to the future, and best of luck with your content creation, and we'll circle back after you've had some time with the software.
Thank you very much. I'll try it out as soon as possible.
Yes, sir. Thank you.